my buddy Mikey from Red Star. Thanks for coming by.
No problem. Hi, Stef.
Hi. So, how have you been? What's going on? What's new?
Why? What? Haven't we talked in a minute?
Yeah,
Has it been a bunch of years or something?
it's been like a couple years, like one or two. You look great. You
Thanks.
look
So did you.
so young and hot. I feel like I saw you in LA 10 years ago. Like you look the same.
You look the same too, except your hair is brown. I like
Yeah.
your brown. I like your brown hair, by the way.
Thank you. I save money growing my hair out and not dyeing it. So I like that as well.
Yeah, I mean, it just looks. It's just very suiting to you. It looks very sexy.
Thank you.
Very,
I'm
very,
getting Alanis
very,
Morissette.
very mature. No, no.
Yeah. Okay. That's what people keep saying. I'm like, really? I don't
Not to put
know.
Alanis down or that. I mean, I've never been attracted to Alanis Morissette. Like, she's not unattractive by any means. You know what I mean? She's just not my thing. But I wouldn't
Yeah.
say look like Alanis Morissette.
So freaking how cute is your dog? What's her name?
Her name's Olive. She's not mine.
Oh, you
She
just
just
stole her?
walked. She just walked up to my door, and I just said, "Come on in."
No way. She's your friends or something?
Yeah, yeah. I spend like 90% of my time with dogs.
Yeah. That's
Yeah,
my dog Lou is my buddy. If you hear a bark, that's my Lou boy. So
yeah,
dude, I met you when you were in 9 Electric and you're in Red Star now. You've got the new album Outsiders out now.
yeah.
Tell us about this band, this project.
Yeah. So that other band that you just mentioned, Nine Electric, that you remember, that band just like many bands just bit the dust. 2020, like right a couple months before, like maybe I think January before pandemic. And it just
Oh,
ran its course. We played a show. We played some big show at the Viper Room with some like Hyro the Hero and otherwise. And then the singer just he didn't want to do it anymore. And the girl that plays the band they were together. They didn't want to do it anymore. So whatever, it ends. So I was stuck, making a decision on where to go musically because I'd been in that band a decade.
yeah.
Eric German, your
Oh,
friend,
love him.
dear
Love
friend of
him.
mine, and has been
Yeah.
my band's attorneys for what feels like forever. He started asking me. He started actually like pseudo trying to place me into a couple different bands. He's like, well, "What about this band? What about this?" And I kept saying no to everything, and not knowing like a sense of like those bands were worthy of me or whatever, anything like that.
Just wasn't
I
a
just
good fit.
I just didn't. I didn't feel like just jumping into some sort of band. You know, what I mean, although the notion at that point in time, the notion of just playing with somebody and going on tour and things like that was more appealing than it had ever been because I'm a band person who wants to be in a real band that started from the ground up. But I wasn't just sure what to do. And then after saying like no to a couple of suggestions, he's like, "Dude." He's like, "You should start a new band." He's like, "You're a band guy." He's like, I think you think it's harder than it is, and of course I thought it was going to be very difficult because I had been in one for 10 years or 10 plus years, what I mean? And I didn't feel like starting anything new.
Yeah.
So started up the new thing like right away. Drummer that was playing in that band was starting with this band. I got another guy played bass with us for a couple of times, and I got Eric Tysinger, who's our bass player now. We ran into each other a couple of times. He popped in my head. I asked him to join the band, and then we started rehearsing and then COVID hit. And then we were rehearsing all during that and like putting songs together. And then I think a couple months down the road of all of the lockdown and all that stuff like that, we happened upon Damien, who's our singer. He was in another band, like so many others, and he wrote to one of the guys, so the original drummer. He's like, "Well, what's your guys' plan now that this year, now that everything's like locked down and we can't do anything? Like, does that just screw up your year?" And dude was like, "Yeah." And he goes, "But," and this was very savvy. He goes, "Yeah, but I got this new thing, man. Maybe you'll be into it." Sent him the recordings, asked him if he would be stoked to be a part of it. We told him what we were looking for. We were looking for somebody who could rap and sing.
I
And
like that
yeah,
combo.
yeah.
I
I
like
didn't
that.
want it to be rapping and then shouting, singing. It had to be singing. And no disrespect to anybody out there, but there's a lot of guys who rap and they don't really sing. You know what I mean? So it
Yeah.
was kind of a big ask. And at first, it was like maybe we'll have another singer and a rapper, which I'm glad we didn't do, by the way.
It's hard to
Um,
do both, like
yeah,
that
yeah.
Linkin Park S though, where you get into both. I dig
Right,
that.
right, right. And Damien, crazy that he was able to do both. Anyways, by about June or July, that band got rolling, and we couldn't really we could travel and go record and do things like that and whatnot, but we couldn't there was nowhere you could play and stuff like that, and you'd have to do live streams anyway. So when it started, my thought process was like, who the fuck is gonna want to hear a new band and then at that time, I don't even remember, in 2020, basically Live Nation, the company I used to work for, they were just going to roll out like every band, rock band of high level was going on some triple double tour together. And it was going to be like an insane busy season. And I just kept thinking like,
Whoa.
how are we supposed to get attention as a new act when it's such a crowded field, right? Pandemic
Yeah.
hit, stopped everything, and we were able to kind of just sneak in there and go like, well, here we are, we're new. And what better time to get attention when everyone's just stuck on the internet sharing, stories about themselves because they're bored. I mean, do you remember that? Like when early pandemic,
Yeah.
like sending, like putting things out, like my favorite color, my favorite, like first concert I ever been to. It was a lot of things that a lot of personal information was being shared that doesn't normally get shared.
It actually, I feel like the pandemic, what I've learned from a lot of bands, it wasn't as hard as you think. Like, yeah, the music industry did take a hit and some of the live venues were shut down. But overall, a lot of people started creating, sat at home, wrote albums, kind of
Right.
like worked on the band and got it solid before you just run
Yeah.
off on a tour
Yeah.
and you don't know each other. So
Yeah.
there was some
And
positives.
it affected big touring juggernauts because they couldn't get out and play. And it affected
Yeah.
the promoters, obviously. It affected clubs and stuff like that. And then, let's not, it affected people who died and stuff like that. So, I'm careful when I say this. I say a lot of, I mean, even though you and I haven't talked in a long time, I'm not afraid to say things.
I was gonna say, you're like me and there's no filter. You're gonna say what's on your mind. And I'm
Right,
like that
right.
too. I'm like, well, I'm unapologetically, this is how I feel. And
Right, right,
you can
right.
take it or leave it.
And the pandemic was obviously terrible, but it was also like awesome.
Yeah.
It was terrible that
Yeah.
people lost their lives. It was terrible that people, got bummed out and started drinking too much because they were bored or whatever the hell happened to them. I mean? But as far as I'm concerned and my band is concerned, it was like some meant to be kind of thing because it let us get established and started and present ourselves without having to like try to like just take a like get way back in the line. That was real far back. I mean, we're at the back of the line anyways, but it just didn't feel like the line went to the moon. You know what I mean?
I
It felt
love the look of Red Star. It's like my MySpace homepage, and it was all red and black, and it's like fun and edgy, and that's what it's reminding me of. And I like the red eyes. Whose idea was it to like give you guys red eyes?
oh, that was mine. That was the girl Hannah that works at the label. She was creating the video, and it was like just a photo of us, And I
Yeah.
was, you know what? Like just because it's that particular video is a visualizer, so it's like it's not us actually performing and stuff like that. So stagnant images, and how do you make them more interesting than just a photo, right? So I was like, hey, you know what? Pull our eyes out and give them a glow, and then she did
Yeah.
red and white and stuff like that. And I think it goes really well with the song. So
It's creepy and cool. I loved so basics, like I liked that the rap to singing what you said, and then do it again was my favorite though.
oh, cool.
Do you guys write that joint like together or does someone do most of the writing?
Well, funny enough that you say that. So "Do It Again" was the last Nine Electric song. It was actually recorded.
No
And then,
way.
yeah, we played it once. We played it live once at that last show I told you about. And then the band bit the dust, right?
Yeah.
The song was sitting there. And then at one point, I was going to release it as like the final song, right? And as this band got rolling, I thought to myself, I'm like, well, why would I put that song out for a defunct band when I have this new band? So we redid it. And actually, the first approach to
That's
redoing
so
it,
crazy.
yeah,
That's cool.
the first approach to redoing it was an ill attempt that we tried to redo it. We changed the chorus and we listened to it and we're like, nah, it doesn't have that same pop, it doesn't have that same bounce. Because the chorus is very that kind of thing. It's like very like kind of like schoolyardish. You know what I mean?
It's really catchy and like relatable. Do it
Yeah.
again. I'm like,
So
oh,
then we just went back and we just did it proper the way that it was, and he changed all the lyrics except the chorus lyrics, and then we put it out, and I was like, yeah, this makes more sense. And it's
so that's your song.
it's our song now. Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
I wrote it with a producer, and then Ron, I don't remember Ron. Ron wrote his own lyrics, and we replaced them, and Damien did his own lyrics, so it just became our song.
Oh, cool. Cool. Like a
Yeah, it wasn't like I
different
stole
version.
a song. It wasn't like I stole the song from the band.
No, but like it was your creative idea and then you put a twist on the song kind of.
Correct.
Okay, so you're in LA. What would you say is the positives and negatives of being a new band kind of getting off the ground in Los Angeles?
I don't even know what a positive would be about being a new band out here. I mean, other than it's Los Angeles and it's not some little podunk city. No disrespect to anybody in a podunk town,
But it's hard. That's what I think I want my listeners to understand. It's harder because there's so many shows and so many bands to go to every night. I think it's harder almost to be like to pull people to your show sometimes.
yeah. LA, you know how it is. I mean, you lived out here a long time. Like LA is a very sensationalized place. It's like there's a lot of events where it's like it feels like it's the place to be. Like, you ever see that movie Babylon?
Yeah.
I just saw it recently. It's amazing.
Yeah.
There's shows where it feels like you're living in that movie, like Babylon, where it's like super exciting. It's amazing. It's the best place to be on earth, other than like maybe fucking Vegas or like Miami or some wild place, right?
Yeah.
But then there's other shows where it feels like you are under a rock, and you feel like you're like in like a time warp, and it's not the cool place to be, and it's just horrible. And I think there's such a massive range and a dichotomy between the two, because that's LA. It's
Yeah.
like it's either stuff's popping or it's not. And there's literally something to do here every night. You know what I mean?
Dude,
Like,
I'm coming out this weekend. I'm gonna drive
you
out.
are?
Yeah, I'm gonna go to the Rainbow Saturday night. So if you're not doing anything, maybe swing
Yeah,
by and
I'll come see you, of course.
have some cheese balls with me or a Jack and Coke.
Not a
Can
Jack and
we?
Coke. Cheese balls, yes. No Jack and Coke.
Oh,
Um,
okay. Are
I
you
only
are you
drink those
health kit?
seltzers. No, I only
I
drink
like.
those seltzers.
Are you White
I
Claw
don't
girl? You're a White Claw girl.
truly.
Truly. Oh,
I'm
you're
a truly,
fancy. You're
I'm a
bougie.
truly, yeah. I mean, I'll drink White
Okay.
Claw. No, I don't like.
Okay.
I don't need a crazy headache. I went on a date not too long ago, and I drank like a bunch of tequila, and then the next day I was just like, my head was just being fucking pounded into submission.
So I get 2 to 3 day hangovers now. I'm not a partier. Like I have to have my green tea. I have to have a water back. Like I have to pace myself because I'm not one of those ragers that can just keep going.
Right.
I get up at 5 a.m. with kids, so I'm not partying. I'm freaking having a glass of wine.
Oh, look this way. He's like looking to the side. Did I wait? So no. There's positives. I mean, like there's industry here. You know what I mean? Like in LA, it's like this is a spot. If you're popping off and you're doing something rad, people will hear about it and they'll come check it out. You know?
You do have opportunity at your fingertips. Like I just met so many people and I remember being like, God, I wish I played an instrument because I like had the mad connection to just get in so many bands, but I just wanted to actually drink with these people and hang out.
Yeah.
But you could go to one magical night and meet like 20 people that kind of own the industry, literally at one table
Right.
sometimes.
I think it's a little different for like hard rock. It's like hard rock is not real prevalent out here because there's not really a rock station out here. You know what I mean? There's K Rock and there's 95.5, but it's like there's tours that go all around the country that don't even come here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because, like that sound is like not here, and I get that. I totally. LA is more of like a Coachella-y hipstery kind of thing, and like in rock,
Yeah.
like if you're like a fresher kind of rock band, which is always I always advocate for that. Then yeah, it's cool here. So it's like, we did a bunch of stuff here. Damien, our singer, used to live he's from Jersey, but now he lives in Arizona. So 3 of us live here. He lives in Arizona. So we don't just like do stuff here for no reason. Like shows that we play out here, they have to have a reason. They either have to be a tour or it has to be like something that makes sense. Like we just won't play a show to play a show. And I think I see a lot of bands doing that, and they might be like, oh, fuck you, like we like to play, we like to be busy, or maybe they'll be like more receptive and listen to like why I think that you shouldn't do that. But one of my mentors in this industry is German, right? So
Yeah.
I was like talking about a lot of things, and bands I think a lot of times feel like if you're doing something that's good, and sometimes that's true, but there's also if like you're doing something that's like you're overexposing yourself, you're playing the market too many times. Like you don't need to play Los Angeles a bunch of times unless you're really cultivating a really awesome fan base. And it's not that easy to do here because it's like really expensive. And there's a bunch of like, there's the venues, which there's not that many anymore. There's a lot of them are gone. Like
I know. I heard that.
Like, remember you and I have some NSF, not safe for work, NSFW moments at the Key Club.
I love Key Club. Like I loved that place.
Gone.
I'm super bummed.
Long gone. And then House of Blues, long gone. And there's the Roxy, which is next to the Rainbow, obviously. But the Roxy's like, I've been in the Roxy forever.
And they're redoing the Roxy, so it's shut down right now. But I know the Viper and Whiskey are holding on. But a lot of my buddies have moved to Vegas.
Yeah, sometimes they feel like they're holding on to it. Feels like that. You know what I mean? So it's like if you have a show there and it's not a rad show, it feels like it's a holding on kind of show, and that's not good.
Yeah.
So this is a very judgmental city.
Yeah.
It's a tough city. You know what I mean? It's like there's people tell you what you want to hear, not what you need to hear a lot of times. And I think again, it's like if you're playing, and then there's like all these other little like offshoot places that my band hasn't really played, but I know bands play at them. Like they're almost like clubs or like bowling alleys and things like that. You know what I mean? And they do shows there. It's like it's not bad or anything like that, but it's just like if you want to present yourself in the highest form, like to industry people or people that matter, you need a really killer sound system. You need I think for things to look, you need some lights and stuff like that, some things. I mean, don't get me wrong. There's bands that can transcend that and they can make their point without all the bells and whistles, you know. But I don't know. Like if you go to a place and it just feels like you're playing in somebody's basement and it's not like off the hook, why are you doing
Yeah.
it? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm not
You
gonna.
wanna play with purpose, with meaning that like, okay,
Yeah.
and I am individual. Like, honestly, the way you guys have this color and have this setup, I like the whole package of a band, not just if I like the music, I
Right.
think the guys are cool. I also am like, how do I remember you? How do you stand out? And how do I get like, oh wow, I'm really turned on by this music video. This is
Right.
cool. This is
Right.
different.
I mean, I view all of it like this stuff. I view it like it's a chess game. It's a chess match, right? And when you play chess, and I don't, by the way,
I don't either. I
yeah,
tried.
but every
I
move like matters. Okay, like I know that. I know that again. Like every time you do a move, it's like you can't just go like I'm just gonna do this. You know, like you got to do it. And when in the industry is also like checkers at time where like things get moving quick and you have to be able to make like fast moves and just like kind of checker moves that just go with the flow. But you can't start out making dumb checker moves. It's just like I'm just gonna do this, you know, and the guy jumps over you. It's like those are mistakes that put you behind or put you in an awkward place. And you know, sometimes people just don't know or they don't have the right people guiding them, whatever. You know, I just have like tons of experience with this kind of stuff. So I know the moves that you should make. And even when you're making the moves that you should
yeah.
make, I mean, it's going to translate to, you know, actual fans loving what you do. But it's better off. You're better off making, you know, solid moves than you are dumb ones. You know that puts you back because
Yeah.
this industry is not easy. And I don't know about anybody else out there, but I am not doing this for just fucking fun. It's not a hobby. This
No.
is my life.
And you're no
This is
rookie.
my
You've
business.
been in the game for a long time. You understand it.
Yeah,
You understand the
yeah,
ropes.
absolutely. And I'm not fucking around. You know what I mean? And when somebody is fucking around, I'm like, go fuck around away from me. You know what I
I
mean?
like
Or I
that.
just, you know what I mean? If they're already there and they're inhabiting the space and doing their thing, I just go somewhere else.
Yeah. Okay, Mikey, can I play this or that with you where you
Sure.
pick one or the other? Okay.
Yeah.
A playlist or podcast?
Playlist.
Okay. A swimming pool or beach?
Probably a pool because there's less people than the beach.
Okay.
Can I give a
Almost
reason
famous.
or should I just answer?
Yeah. Yeah, you just don't like people. I'm just kidding. No, you can give a reason for
No, I mean
everything.
I like some. No, I don't. I actually like some. Like if there's 1,000 people, about five of them are like amazing to me. The other 995 can just fuck off.
Yeah. Hey, at least you're selective. Well, I'm stoked that I got in your friend group then at that
Oh yeah,
rate.
I liked you.
Um,
I don't remember how we met, but I knew I liked you instantly.
I know, right? There's everyone I met in LA. I'm like, I have no clue when I met you guys, but I know I was at the Rainbow or Key Club and I was with German usually. And like, so I was like hanging in that crew and we
Yeah,
all went out a lot
I could
together and
probably
stuff.
figure it out if I thought about it for a second, but it's something like that.
I don't, there's a lot of Jack Daniels involved for me. So I don't know. Okay.
uh,
The movies, do you like better Almost Famous or Chasing Amy?
oh, that's a good question. Um, I'm gonna pick both for different reasons. Chasing Amy is obviously like very quirky and very
Hmm.
Kevin Smithy, and it's got like this whole like intellectual thing going on. I think what I like about that is that movie in particular is the struggle between it's a cool story like the struggle with Ben Affleck's character not being able to handle Joey Lauren Adams' overt sexuality, and which is
Yeah.
Kevin Smith. That was his experience actually, and I think that's a really cool topic. And a lot of guys struggle with very forward women. I love them. And
Okay,
then the
good.
trouble between the friends, Jason Lee, like how he struggles, and that's a very common thing too, where like somebody gets butthurt and the dude starts dating, you know, a chick or whatever,
Yeah.
and vice versa, women as well. But then and then Jay and Silent Bob's one scene is funny. Almost Famous is a more grand film. Obviously, it's a like a more blockbustery kind of movie, and it takes place in the '70s, which is a very glorious time. You know what I mean? So that's awesome, and it's
Yeah.
you know like that band still opening for like Black Sabbath and shit like that. That's really rad. Jason Lee's in both those. That's great.
I didn't think about that till you just said that. Yeah.
Yeah, he plays Banky in Chasing Amy, and he plays fuck, what's his name in Almost Famous again?
Not
Oh,
Russell, but
Jeff Beebe. Jeff
okay,
Beebe.
Jeff
Yeah.
Beebe. And I
He's
love
an asshole in both movies too.
maybe he's just playing himself and we didn't think about
He kind
that.
of has like that kind of whiny asshole thing. Did you know that he was a professional skateboarder?
No.
Yeah, you just learned something.
Wow.
He
I
was a
like
professional. Professional skater.
That's cool. What a jump from like skating to movies. But
Yeah.
I love Almost Famous. I like Chasing Amy too. That's why I wanted to ask that because like those are probably in
Yeah,
my
I like
top
them both.
10.
I like them both. It depends on like where my head is at. If I just want to go like over the top grand like rock and roll and like the trials and tribulations of that whole world and stuff like that, I'll go with Almost Famous. And then if I'm going for like a little bit of an artsy kind of a low end artsy, movie.
Indie vibes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Chasing
Yeah.
Amy.
Oh, attacked by zombies. No big deal. We're back. Okay. Oh, I was gonna ask you movies or Netflix?
Movies or Netflix? What do you mean?
Like, would you rather go to the movies and watch a movie or stay home and
Oh,
watch Netflix?
Netflix. I don't know. Movies
Yeah.
again. So I want to see that. I'm like a huge Mad Max fan, right? And I didn't go
Oh
see
yeah.
Furiosa because it's at the. I mean, I saw Mad Max Fury Road like 4 times at the theater, but after pandemic, and now that movies are streaming, I prefer streaming because I'm the kind of person who watches the same movie like a million times because I want to know
Me
everything
too.
that's been said, everything that's happening. So I mean, I'll go to the theater, I suppose, like maybe like on a date or something like that, or like a very specific reason. Like when Tarantino does his last movie, I will definitely go to the theater to see that.
I
But
love Quentin Tarantino.
yeah, me too.
I do prefer to stay home though more, and I like to binge watch. So I just like to get on. I just started Sex in the City, which is funny because it came out in the 90s and they're using,
Yeah.
rotary phones, but I'm loving it and I cannot stop watching it. Like it's my thing.
No, like, yeah,
Oh,
being able to watch whatever you want is awesome. Because I go back to Babylon when I brought up earlier. I'd never seen that. I remember seeing the posters for it, and then I remember hearing that it didn't do well, and I was like, oh. And then I watched it. I finally saw it, online. It was on actually Prime, and I fucking love that movie. I've seen it like 20 times, and I was like, you just miss stuff because who can afford going to the movies all the time and you can't see everything.
it's really expensive. And then usually the movies that bomb at the box office, that's the ones I love. So I don't look
They're
at
good.
numbers and ratings. Yeah.
Yeah, I do not listen to people's fucking bitch ass opinion about like what's good or what's not. You know what I mean? It's like
Yeah.
if that were the case, we'd just be dumbass Marvel movies and other cheesy shit. And I don't watch it. I've never seen a single Fast and Furious, but I've seen
I haven't either.
5,000 times.
I'll rewatch Labyrinth to go to bed every night for like a million times over. I'm
Yeah.
obsessed.
I've been
Um,
watching Oppenheimer to go to sleep every night because it's just like
oh,
it's a great movie. I've seen it a bunch of times, and it's long in dialogue, and I can just relax.
I haven't seen that yet. I saw Barbie. Okay,
I,
would you pick video games or a strip club?
video games.
Okay,
You know
I
what?
like that.
I don't like strip club, man. I'm not going. I don't need to see chicks naked and not have sex with them. That's dumb.
Yeah, it's kind of like
No point in that. I mean, I can just look at it on my phone.
you can go to OnlyFans and check it out.
Yeah.
Okay, and then last question because of the band's coloring, red or black?
Red.
Yeah. Okay, because you got mostly red.
Red and black.
So you got to put them together. Actually, you can't leave out black. So
Yeah.
Mikey, tell us
I was a rapper. I would just wear all red.
and be like the red rapper.
Yeah, exactly. Actually, I was watching a Wu-Tang Clan concert last night, and RZA was wearing all red.
Okay,
Like,
that must have been.
He had a red hat on, a red shirt, red pants, and I think maybe brown boots or something like that.
Like a ketchup bottle, a big tomato or something.
Basically.
That's cool. So Mikey, tell us about where to find everything with Red Star, all your handles. I know we'll tag you and the album Outsiders out now. So tell us how to find you guys.
Yeah. Just Red Star Music. I mean, I always laugh if people can't find you online now. It's just like, come on.
They're Amish then. They're living off the grid.
You get a lot of messages from people who haven't talked to you in a long time. They find you and they're like, hey, oh my God, how you doing?
Or yeah, the funny part, they're like, how do I find your podcast? I'm like, all the links are in the bio to Spotify if it's too long and and you can.
Yeah.
And it's funny when they ask me.
If you can find me, you can find a publicly known band.
I love it. We'll check out Red Star. Thank you so much.
The only thing is Red Star is 2 Ds though. It's R-E-D.
2 Ds.
Yeah.
Double D. You get the D twice.
You put that. Yes, you should know about double D.
Double D's. Hey, I got double D's. Red Star has double D's. So when you're looking up Red Star, make sure you put 2 Ds.
Exactly.
We just got to